All right, for real. You ready? What you doing with your arm? All right, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the. Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to the
No,
Todd
no. God, you gotta count me in.
If I do it, I don't have to do it.
Welcome to the Todd Partnership Podcast. This is our first podcast, and we're excited to start this podcast. This is something that we have been wanting to do for a while now, and this is the first one. We're ready to get started. Mm-hmm. I'm Xander Todd.
And I'm Jennifer Todd.
And this is my beautiful wife. We've been married for 11 years now.
Yes, 11 years.
And we just feel like we have these awesome conversations that we just want to bring to you, different topics that's happening around the world, pop culture, politics, everything. And
nothing is off limits.
No, nothing is off limits. Even how to improve yourself physically, like that's one thing that I'm working on. Like,
both of us, actually.
Yeah, we're both working on that. That's like, I just want to get better physically. That's another topic though. But today we just want to introduce ourselves, and we don't agree on everything.
Not at all.
So we have these conversations that we always have on different topics because we've come from different backgrounds. We were both born in Memphis, Tennessee, but Jennifer moved to Texas. What age did you?
Age 5, kindergarten.
And I moved to Atlanta when I was around 7 years old. Then moved to Texas when I was a junior in high school, and that's where we met. So we were both born in Memphis, but we met in Texas, and just two different backgrounds. My mom and dad, they separated when I was 4 years old, so I had I didn't know it at the time, but a rough life. But I'm thankful for it because it taught me a lot of different things, gave me a different perspective, and
maybe, I mean, my parents have been together for 33 years. 33? Yeah, 33 years. And I would say he's pretty cushy. Grew up in a very diverse suburban neighborhood, and I just felt like anything was possible.
Yeah, and most of my life, my younger life, I spent in Campbellton Road of Atlanta. If you know anything about that, spent some time in Bankhead, so it was kind of rough, but it's great though. I think that's one thing that makes us a great couple is that we just see things through different lenses, but we're able to come together and just have those conversations and just look at it from different perspectives. And one thing that I want everybody to know is that we can still talk to each other even though we believe in different things. Yeah, like
that's very important.
That's one of the things that I can't stand in that's happening today is like everybody's like, if you don't believe the way I believe, if you don't think the way I think, you're 100% wrong and you should be punished for it.
It's labeled as hate.
Yeah.
People want to cancel you.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Like, you can't sit with us. Like, association is just totally abandoned.
Yeah, and I refuse to let that happen. I'm a big advocate for free speech. Like free speech, like you can say whatever you want to say. Like I don't care what you say. Like I think we get too wrapped in trying to control everybody else's speech.
We do care what people say, but we understand that that's their thoughts. They have to own it, and we have to respect that they have ownership of what they believe and how they look at it. I mean, we can go to the extreme of somebody hate speech or whatever you label hate speech to be. I think that I don't know. I think that if you're not physically hurting anybody or inciting violence for other people to participate in, that's the legal definition.
You can say whatever. What? That's hate speech.
Free speech.
Free speech. Okay.
It can incite violence. Yeah.
Yeah, like say whatever you want to say. Like my mom is white and my dad is black, I've been called all types of names at a young age. I've heard names that people call my mom. And, like, I mean, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Like, of course they're going to hurt. But we got to be able to keep free speech. Like, because, and then be able to come to the table and, like, just get to know each other. Because the reason why people have those thoughts and stuff is ignorance. Because they don't understand the other perspective. Mm-hmm. But if we keep trying to cancel people and shut people down, guess what? People going to stop talking. And then you're not going to know what they think about you. And they're just going to do it behind the scenes. I'd rather have somebody tell me to my face so that I know where I stand with them instead of them scheming behind the scenes. But that's not what this this particular episode is about. But that's why we wanted to start this podcast.
Yeah.
Why did you want to?
Well, I just wanted to invite people into our conversations because I feel like, number one, like you said earlier, we have different perspectives. So, I mean, they're different. They may both be wrong, maybe right. One could be right, one could be wrong. But, you know, I love to have people weigh in and comments and things so that we can see what other perspectives there are.
Because I know sometimes I'd be 100% right. And okay. And I need some people to come in and let.
Okay. So the one out of the 100.
Yeah,
please affirm him.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited about this podcast. But today we're gonna talk about what we can talk about today.
Today we're gonna talk about how to handle pressures and guilt. Today we're gonna talk about how to handle the pressure and the guilt that other people place on you when you're trying to do something different.
Yes, and that's something that we're going through right now. Because we're both entrepreneurs, and there are a lot of people that want to see you do other things to the traditional route.
Right. And they mean well for you. I think people are so bent on stability and security that when they see people moving in a space that doesn't necessarily have that built into it, that they are frightened. Yeah. And they project that fear upon those individuals who are living in a more risky, I guess, type of life.
So let's talk about some of those things, like some of the things that we experience. Like we have our own businesses, and it's one thing that I can say right now that when you have these ideas, like one of the things that I did when I first, like a lot of ideas you can't share with people. Like you can't share your dreams with everybody.
Yeah, like, I think that's a better way to say it. You can't share them with everybody.
Yeah.
Like there should be some people that you trust, that you know, like will always have your back no matter what. And you may be able to share with them, but you have to really use wisdom because there are people out here and they are dream killers. Like their goal, once you share something, is to make sure. Maybe because I'm in the midst of this right now, like this journey right now, but it's hard for me to like share with anybody right now. Like it's even certain people that like it's levels to it. Like of course you know all my dreams and all the things I'm trying to pursue, but I find myself now, because in the past I used to just tell everybody, and then people would, I mean, like you said, some people had good intentions. They'd be like, well, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do that? Like just casting that doubt into you. And one thing I didn't realize is that I thought at a young age I could be around those people, but I would rise above it. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you, that energy that negative people put off is so powerful. Like it's underestimated. Like you can underestimate it, because if you're around somebody, let's just take for instance, if you're trying to lose weight, you go to the gym, but that person is around. I want to hear this. Because it sounds like this might relate to my life.
I'm trying to get better.
Okay, come on. Let's hear it. I'm trying to get better. Keep going.
No, I don't do this to you. But if that person is saying, man, I just don't see the point of going to the gym anymore. Like, and then when they're around you all the time, they eating bad. Mm-hmm. Like, they always trying to pull you into it, because one thing that people do, they want to keep you where they're comfortable with you.
That's right.
And I learned that, man, and I'm like I said, I'm still in this process, because right now my circle is growing smaller. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't have a lot of people around me right now that are negative. Like, if you are, like, it used to just be something people post on Facebook, good vibes only.
Oh yeah.
But that is so real. It like is. Don't come around me with no negativity. Like, don't do it, because I don't have the time no more. Like, I can't waste time with a pity party.
Right. And it's not that you're trying to be ugly to these people or anything. We don't look at individuals like that as like people who are beneath us or anything like that.
No.
But the thing is that the energy and atmosphere that they create becomes a major distraction.
Yes.
To what you're trying to accomplish. And so you're trying to fight all of that while you're also trying to build something, and it just doesn't work out. You end up staying stuck.
Yeah.
And so the best thing for you to do is just to kind of, keep them at a distance and just work on your goals and dreams and the things that you're trying to attain.
And I'm understanding now that everybody can't go.
Oh, like, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. I think it becomes easier for me as a man and a husband and a father. Like, it's easier for me to say that now, because I know that my responsibility is for my wife and kids. Like, that's it. I really don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, because at the end of the day, I have to look at my kids, look at you in the face, and be able to show something for what I've been doing. And not saying that I don't want to have friends. I do want to have friends. But I'm going to make sure that I pick my friends. Like, it's important. Like, you just cannot be around like certain people. Yeah, anybody. You can't play with it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I wish I would have learned that like years ago. But I think the lessons that I learned, like, allow me to distinguish who I need to be around now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can see the characteristics of people that only want to be negative all the time. And like you said, it's not being mean, it's just being very cautious of the energy that you're around.
Right. So, number one, we identified dream killers. The other people that you have to worry about are the ones who hear what you have to say, and they may even encourage you, with their words, but you'll see that their actions, like, they may try to present another avenue for you to pursue.
Those are the
and so like
snakes.
They get you off of track of what you're really trying to accomplish, what you may be really called or purpose to. And not to say that you don't do the other things that they suggest well, because you very well may be very good at those things, but that's not where your focus needs to be. And so once again, you get off track, distracted, pushed back, you lose time and energy that should be devoted to the thing that you're really supposed to be doing.
And I believe that everybody can be great. So those people, I don't believe those people are stuck there forever. Mm-hmm. I just believe that they have to go on their own journey. And if you find anything inside of you that when you hear a friend or a family member say something and you have this disposition that, like, man, well, they think they better than somebody, like, you need to check yourself. Like, because it's not like you're born this way. Like, everybody has the potential to be great. Mm-hmm. So, like, these people that we're talking about, and to piggyback on what you're saying, like, I think those are the most dangerous people to be around, because they'll say they love you in your face, they support you, but they won't support you financially. Like a post on Facebook is cool, but if they won't support, like if you're selling something and they never support you, but you're the man, like you doing it, like, man, I love what you're doing. Like they might be just secretly hating on you, and like it's, and you'll feel that, like, that energy is like, it's not good to be around. Like, because what a true friend would do is to see, okay, if my friend is trying to accomplish this, like if I see them going somewhere off path, I remind them of, hey bro, you don't need to do that.
Right.
Like, remember your dream you told me? Like, those are people you need to be around. But if you get around those folks and you kind of go off course, whatever your business or idea or plan or whatever you're trying to do, and they just go along with you, and it's like, man, it's okay for today. Like, those people are, like, those are snakes. Like, they will bite you in the end. Like, and yeah, go ahead, because those type of people get me hot.
Okay, so like, I think the most important thing in this whole process is, number one, just knowing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so once you set the vision for that, every day you have to make calculated decisions. Like, is this helping me to get closer to where I want to be? Is it not? Is this a priority? Is it not? Is this something I should devote any energy to? Maybe it should be lower on the ladder of importance. You have to just weigh out all your decisions, and you really have to become a better steward and manager of your time, your money, and your health. Your health is a really big thing.
Yes.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do a podcast
topic
on that.
But knowing what you want to do, going after it, make your plan. And then, because you will have all these types of individuals and energies trying to attack what you want to do, you have to sometimes operate in what I like to call radio silence. And I call it radio silence because you have to be able to block out the people who are negative, but you also have to be able to block out the people who hype you up way more than where you really are.
They gas you up, man.
And so you have to be able to make a really good assessment of what you've already accomplished, what you need to do, and you know how far away you are from your goals and how you're going to get there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know something that we did recently was we wrote down where we want to be physically, financially. We just wrote down 3 main things that we wanted to accomplish, and
what was the third thing?
It was financial too.
Okay.
It was financial. It was really like financially and health. Mm-hmm. The reason why we chose those is because we think those are like the building blocks, right? If you don't have good health, you're not gonna be able to accomplish anything. If you don't take care of your finances, you won't be able to move to the next level. But that's another podcast. But you do have to write it down. Like, I would say that you need to write down whatever you want to accomplish. Like, write it down on paper. Like, I think it's just something about, and I know it's probably more some science behind it, but I know it feels like you retain more when you write it down on paper. Mm-hmm. And it becomes real to you. Like, and then that's a way for you to judge who you want to be around. Like, if what you write down, like, is a direct opposition to the people that you're hanging with, and they're not trying to do nothing like that, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a conversation with them, and maybe you can help them out. But, like, if they constantly don't want to better themselves, maybe you should just let them.
And you know what? I encounter that a lot. Like, I'll kind of, like, tease people. They don't know it. But, like, I'll drop little hints about, you know, like, the direction that I want to go into.
Yeah. Or,
like, something I think would encourage their passion or whatever. And I just kind of measure, like, how they receive it at the time. Or even I'll wait and maybe the next time that I see them a couple of months later, I'll kind of make an assessment of like, did they act on this? Was this something that, you know, I felt like was important to them? Did it make an impact or not? You know, did they totally just ignore it? It was just conversation.
Yeah.
And so like, it lets you know really quickly, like who's serious, like who is complacent, who's wanting to move forward, or like, you know, who you can team up with.
Yeah.
Who you know, you really want to associate yourself with, or maybe like have a more of a partnership, a friendship type relationship, or somebody that's just kind of, you know, like we said earlier, at a distance. You know, you're cordial, you are polite, you might even go out and hang out a couple of times, but it's stays kind of surface because they're just not ready for what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So.
Like, that's a good point. I mean, from the late great Nipsey Hussle, man, like, he used to say, if your circle don't inspire you, you're in the wrong circle. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's a good way of like just testing to see where people are. Mm-hmm. Like, and another thing with that radio silence, when you said it, I was thinking about, you know, just how a radio works, like different frequencies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, like being able to tune in to the right frequencies and understand, like, okay, this is the station that I want to be locked in. This is what I want to hear, like, clearly. Mm-hmm. Like, and blocking out everything else. And man, like, I'm starting to understand it. I used to hear this like all the time growing up, but I think it really sunk in when this guy Gary V, like Gary Vaynerchuk, he would say it all the time, just when you stop caring what people think about you, that's when you're gonna start to win. Just being able to lock in to that particular frequency, surround yourself by people that are trying to accomplish the same things that you are, or even more, like to inspire you to move forward, and blocking out everybody that's saying that you can't do it. Like, life is, man, all these cliche things that we say, but they're real.
They're actually real. Like,
life is too short for you to waste time pouting, waste time with negative people. I mean, Nipsey Hussle died at 33. Like, and he's accomplished way more than people that had a full life.
70 years.
Yeah, plus. 70 years and haven't even scratched what he accomplished in 33 years. Like, and be able to make an impact. I mean, I know this podcast has really been on people.
Yeah.
Like, people that you hang around, like people that you associate with. And you just got to be able to block people out, tune into the right frequency, and like keep moving forward. Like,
so one thing like I really resonate with is like I believe that everybody has a purpose or a calling that is unique to them, that God put inside of them, whether they believe in God or not. I think it's just intrinsic. Like, I think it just calls out to us. And so like, because we're all unique, I mean, we don't even have the same fingerprints. I mean, like, we are specifically unique, each one of us. I really feel like conformity, like doing the norm, is a form of slavery and bondage. It
is.
And so like, I really try to encourage people like to find whatever that is that drives them, so that they can like really be the person that they were designed to be. Like, they can really contribute to the world the way that they were designed to contribute. And like make the impact that we all desire to make. And I feel like so many people are stuck in like that corporate hamster wheel, where they're trying to move up the corporate ladder, but there's so many people vying for the same position. Like, your chances of actually progressing through that channel is very slim.
And making that your identity. Like, making that your success. You want to be the VP of a company that you don't have any ownership in. They just pay you. They just trade money to you for your time. But that's your identity. Like, and don't get me wrong, like if that's what you're passionate about, if like that type of work, that's cool, but that's not your identity either. Like, and then don't try to push it on everybody else. Like this is the only way you can be successful.
It's a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe in formulas. The only formula I do believe in is listening to God about what He's purposed you to do here. And if you know how to do that, then that's the formula you should follow. But other than that, I think everybody has their own path. I think sometimes it has to be found organically. Sometimes you must fail in order to find the success that your life was designed to find. And I just think that just a 9-to-5 job for most people it may be okay, but for me, I had to take the entrepreneurship route. And I feel like that's where I flow the best. And I can't imagine myself working for anyone in any area of my life. I mean, I have one business now, and I can do other things. I have other gifts and talents, but I still don't see myself working under someone. I always see myself having another business.
And I give an example, like when you're saying sometimes a 9-to-5, like our daughter's teacher is awesome. You can tell that she loves
she's
teaching
amazing.
those kids. Like you just feel it. Like when we pick the kids up, the way she smiles.
She's like a smiley face.
Yeah.
Like if you could feel a smiley face, like she just is joy in education.
I don't know what it was. Did Maya win like a contest or something where she brung books to our house to give to our daughter as a prize. Yeah. Like and that's outside of school time. She goes above and beyond. She does. But on the other side of the spectrum, I see teachers up there that they just look miserable. Like they look like, hey, I'm gonna put this time in and I'm gonna be done.
Just a babysitter.
That's the difference. One teacher loves what they do, and the other teacher can't stand it. I don't like to be around those people that can't stand because you're conforming to what you think society deems as respectable. And it is a respectable job. Like, I love my daughter's teacher. Like, she is awesome.
It's a very important job.
Yeah, very important job. But if you can't stand your job and you're just complaining about it all the time, if you work in a bank and you just can't stand it, like you can, like that may not be the passion that God has given you. Like, do something else. Like, take that chance. Like, that's where I think, where you mean conformity is slavery. Like, you are a slave to that job. If you hate it, if it gives you anxiety, it will kill you earlier because of the anxiety that it builds up in you. It's stress. Like, you are a slave to that job. Like, but you don't want to take that chance because you're scared of what people may say.
Or that you may not have the income that you think that you need.
Like, if you're... I use this example all the time. Like, there's a guy on YouTube that reviews cereal. That gets paid more than... I would say I looked at his social blade just to be curious. He's probably getting paid more than a lot of teachers. Like, just using that teacher the one that hates their job. This guy found a way to review cereal, Fruit Loops, Frosted Flakes, all the cereals that come out. He probably loves cereal.
Yeah.
And he found a way. So. Yeah. I mean, he looks like it the way, you got to. But if your passion can be cereal and you can make what you want to make and be able to live, like, do that. Like, you have a purpose. Like, even in him making reviews on cereal, like, he's a funny guy. Like, he may be reviewing cereal, but he's bringing joy to somebody.
Right. And I think I really latched on to this statement that TD Jakes made. He wrote a book called Soar, and he was saying that just because a business or a job says that they're going to pay you a certain amount of money, that doesn't mean that's the top. That doesn't mean like that's the cap for you to make. So, I mean, if you know anything about TD Jakes, he has his hand in everything. He's an author. He's a playwright. He produces movies. He produces music. He's a worldwide speaker. And he just said he was never going to let one person or one job limit his income potential. Yeah. And I feel like that is such an important thing, especially in the time that we're living, because things are becoming more expensive rapidly. Yeah. And especially housing.
And the traditional way of, you can't just go to a warehouse job and be able to retire comfortably no more. You cannot do that anymore.
People are working longer. Like they're having to really sacrifice more time because these jobs are not keeping up with inflation and with the cost of living, and
you can only work so many hours.
That's it.
You can only work, like, even if you got paid $100 an hour for something, you can only, like, there is a cap on what you can make. You can't make that money while you're asleep, because you have to trade your time for the money.
You have to clock in.
Like, you got to clock in. But like I said, like, I'm not bashing anybody. Like, if you love your job, like, I've seen people in fast food that you can tell they love their job. Do that. Like, do what makes you happy. Don't conform to what people say, because what you hear is planted inside you. Like, what people, like, that's going back to the negative people. Like, if I got joy frying fries, now I'm able to have a roof over my head, I'm able to do the things that I want to do, and I'm only making $24,000 a year, but I'm happy. But somebody comes along and plants a seed, like, man, like, don't you want this? Don't you want that? Like, I never thought about that. But don't you want to be like this person? Like, it's like people plant those seeds in you. Like, you were happy before. Like, but now those people are trying to push something on you. Like, do what makes you happy. Like, that's
Yeah, I would just say live within your own expectations. Like you're saying, do what you want to do. Do what you see yourself doing. And dominate whatever it is that you want to do. Yes. Do it in an excellent way. I think that in itself is a precursor to more money. Because even a fry cook, if they're the best fry cook, they could become a trainer. Yeah. And make more money. And travel around the country. Exactly. Yeah. Like, there's always opportunity when you do things well. Like, even the Bible says your gift will make room for you. And so, like, whatever it is, just do it well. Do it excellent. Make sure it's tight and, you know, it's presented well. And go for it. Like, there's nothing that is holding you back. Like, you have everything you need inside of you. There's no reason why you shouldn't pursue it.
And one thing, there will be hard days. It's hard work. Like, both of us being entrepreneurs, like, you end up working more than what you'll work from a 9 to 5. But it's not, I don't know, it's not the same though. It's definitely not the same.
It's not as taxing. No. I think
mentally it's not. Like, you'll have hard days. Like, I don't want to sugarcoat this for people. And you will use your brain. Like, but you won't be unhappy. Like, when you're doing something, if you're spending late nights, early mornings trying to accomplish your dreams, you know that you're pursuing something and you're making progress towards something.
I think the release of stress comes from knowing that at the end of the day, everything is in your control. So, like, if you decide that, you know what, this is enough work today and I need to be able to focus on some other things, or I'm going to relax now, you have the freedom to do that.
And you got to live with the consequences.
You do. You do have to live with the consequences.
If you decide to take a week off and not do anything, you just got to know that. Now, the sweet spot is to get to where stuff is working even when you're not. But that's another podcast. But, like, just know, I just don't want people to think that it's just all green grass.
Oh, no. No.
Like there's a lot of hurdles that we.
It is hard,
and we're still like trying to. But the thing about it is the journey. I'm starting to enjoy the journey more. Like knowing that okay, what I do today, I want to put myself in position to be better than I was yesterday. Mm-hmm. So I want to take that next step to make sure that I get to where I want to get and accomplish my goals. Mm-hmm. Like I've worked at a bank before, like, and at a cubicle, and I could not stand it. Like I think that's the first time I really experienced anxiety. Like, and people make fun, like memes and stuff. I remember pulling up to the office, and like, just this feeling just come over me. Like, I do not want to go in here. I do not want to walk in this office. And then because it wasn't something that I was passionate about. And I would make sure that I do my best in every job because I felt like that was a reflection of me. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't like do
Very good worker. Tons of accolades, awards.
Yeah, and we going to talk about that in the podcast too, because I think I had to learn the hard way to pursue my dreams. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I felt like I did everything right and still, you know, it wasn't good enough. But yeah, we decided to talk about this on the first podcast because this is something that's just is close to us right now. We're in this journey right now. Mm-hmm. And just being honest and letting you in on who we are. And I mean, every episode won't be like this. Like, I want to talk about a lot of different things, you know, whether it's in the news, pop culture, politics, whatever. Like, because I want to create this community where we can just all talk about anything. I'm talking about anything. Nothing is off the table. Nothing. Like, I am so tired of. I don't listen to any podcast that censors themselves anymore. Like, and thankfully with technology now that we can have a lot of different. Like, one of my favorite podcasts is Joe Rogan because I respect, like, he brings different people in, different perspectives. He can bring people in that have a totally different outlook on what he believes, but he can sit there and talk with them for hours. Like, that's what we want to create here, and like just have conversations. Like, nothing's off the table. You're gonna hear it all. Like, right. I'm excited.
So yes, today we wanted to just give you something that is very pertinent to anybody who's trying to obtain success, reach their goals, their dreams. And it doesn't have to be a business. It could be anything. Yes. And just to give you some practical things that you can use to navigate the different relationships that you have with the people around you, and that you do it gracefully, where you don't burn bridges, where you don't offend people, but you can still maintain a level of sanity and peace and keep moving forward to what you're trying to accomplish.
And make sure you protect your happiness. Like, you have to be happy. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what anybody says, your parents, your friend, like, you make sure that you're happy. Like, that's something that I'm still learning. Like, I can't be concerned with what people say about me. Now, you always want to have a
good reputation.
Good reputation. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm saying that if somebody's saying that you shouldn't do that because you're not going to accomplish this, like, that's stupid. No. I'm going to do what makes me happy, and that's it. Like, that's the journey we on right now, and we'll have other conversations about this. So
I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah. So that's it for this, our first podcast.
Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Or watching, or watching.
Yes.
The Todd Partnership.
Yes. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Like, join in on the conversation. Like, if you're listening to this on iTunes, make sure you rate us 5 stars. Like, just keep this going because we want to have real conversations. This is real. Like, I'm ready. Like,
okay. Please write us a review that helps other people to find the podcast.
And that's it.
That's it. Until next time.
All right. Peace.